when I realized how smart my sailors were, I added 3 questions to the interviews. What do you like most about USS Benfold? What do you like least? And what would you change if you were the captain of this ship? And I had a public address microphone right at my desk. When I got a great idea from a sailor, I'd hit the button right then and there, and I'd say, Benfold, this is the captain. This is the idea I just got. This is who I got it from. It makes sense to me. We're going to implement it right now. I want your full support. And it wasn't until after I left the ship that I find out that one of the nicknames the crew had for me was Mega Mike, because they said there wasn't a microphone I couldn't walk past without talking into it. Well, that's what we as leaders do. You know, we listen and we communicate back where we're going and why it's in the organization's best interest and why it's their best interest to get on board. When I was out walking around, I was talking to a sailor, and he says, Captain, we have a term to describe the organization on this ship. He said, this ship is like a tree full of monkeys. He said, you're the monkey at the top of the tree. On every branch, there's different levels of monkeys, and we're the monkeys in the bottom branch. He said, whenever you look down from the top of the tree, all you ever see are smiling faces coming back at you. When we look up from the bottom branch, we have an entirely different view of the organization. And it was when that sailor said that to me, it hit me. I've got a multicultural workforce. I've got a multi-generational workforce. And you know what? Each group speaks a different language. I don't speak to my mother the way I speak to my nephew Alexander. You know, it requires different communication skills. And what I realized I needed to do was to put myself in the shoes of every group of people on the ship and view the operation through their eyes, and then communicate to them in their language where we're going and why it's in the organization's best interest, but most importantly, why it's in their own best interest that they get on board. And I bet you 50 or 60% of our job as leaders is listening and communicating back. And it's about getting people on board with where you're going so that you can be the best that you can possibly be.